Welcome to Getcha Popcorn Ready podcast. This is your host Hatch with my boy.
Man, it's welcome to Getcha Popcorn Ready.
Yeah!
Podcast, you know what I mean? You gotta have some excitement when we get up in here, cause there's some electricity up in here.
Hey, there's a whole bunch of speed.
Man, we done had some speed on this show today. Me, Chris, DJ.
Wait, don't. Hey, Chris. See, he the only one in here who ain't never ran a 4-3, so he can't talk.
Hey,
I'm a 4-3.
We running 4.
You a 4-2.
You running 4-2.
You know what I'm saying? You the slowest one on the set.
No,
you the slowest
no.
one. Not right now. I'm talking about when we was coming out. We was really running.
They don't know nothing about that. We talking about today.
We gonna tell it today.
Today you the slowest.
Can you run today?
Yeah, I can run.
So
he can get you right now. He can get you.
Boy.
Oh, I can't even run. I can't even finish a 40 right now.
Oh,
my body goes shut down at like 5. You know what I'm saying? I got this hip thing like a fanny pack. Like,
Right.
Well, welcome to the show, man. Chris Johnson.
Yes, sir.
One of the fastest, if not the fastest.
The fastest.
The fastest.
Okay.
Are you the fastest person to ever play in the NFL?
Yeah, for sure.
You know, somebody may have something to say about that. This one guy, he wears number 21. Coaching down there in Jackson State.
Right. But when he came out, he ran a 4.28.
Okay. What were you?
I'm 4.24.
Well, you fast then. You fast.
Hey, there it is. The numbers don't lie.
And then there was another guy too that back in the day he was saying that he was the fastest too. Darryl Green.
Oh yeah, he was moving. You got a lot of fast guys now.
Yeah, we fast as shit.
Yeah,
we ain't no we. Stop giving that boy that. Ain't no we.
I never seen him get caught though. I can't lie about that. I never seen him get caught.
Boy, say something.
Ain't never seen
hey, that boy just said something then, Hatch.
I agree.
That boy said something then.
I'm agreeing.
But I wasn't known as a speedster. But you coming out of college, you went to high school, Olympia.
Yeah, Olympia, yeah.
Orlando, Florida.
Man.
Were you a 4.2 in high school though? What was your fastest time in high school?
Man, I don't really count that because I never went to a camp and ran it and the start watch and all that. I never counted, but I was a 10.3 100-meter dash guy.
Okay.
20.8 200-meter dash guy, whatever. And then we had the number one 4x1 team in the country.
Really?
Yeah.
Who else was on that 4x1?
Me, you ain't gonna know the other guys because they didn't go to college or
love,
whatever.
but
Randy Dozier,
Randy, what up, Randy?
Yeah, Mark Edwards, Donald Barnes.
What's up, fellas? Speed the bird.
Hey, that's a lot of speed. You know what I mean? Hey, they have to account for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So even though they didn't go to college, but that's one of the things that we tell people when we talk about. Obviously football and is predicated on speed.
Right.
And then sometimes just because you got speed, that don't mean you can play the game of football.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there's a lot of speed in this country.
Yeah, because we talk about it a lot. You have, I think, if you look at the list of, let's just say 40-yard dashes. Yeah. You could put a list of top 10 40-yard dashes, and you probably won't even be able to recognize. More than half, probably 8 of the names.
Nope.
You probably won't even be able to recognize those names. Like, what did they do in the league? Like,
nothing.
So my whole thing, I always was fast. I knew I was gonna run a low 4.2. I knew I was gonna run that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I always they thought I was just a speed guy.
Right. Yeah.
So I always took that man, I'm finna show them.
Right.
My first carry in the lead, I come around the corner. I dropped the shoulder on somebody showing this ain't just speed.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
And you're not just you're just not a track guy. You're a track guy too, but that can translate to football.
Exactly.
And like I said, you wanted people to know, okay, I can run straight line, but I can
I get it to you now. I get it to you now.
Yeah, okay.
I get it to you now. Yeah.
That's what's
Which
up.
makes the perfect back, right? So again, a lot of people say that you run with patience, right? So tell some, you have a lot of younger athletes that watch the show. So tell some of the young guys, how are you so fast but also run with patience? Kind of explain that.
Just basically understanding the game, man. And then it comes from film study and guys that you watch,
Film study. Film study, kids.
Film study is big. My favorite guy that I always used to watch was Barry Sanders, right? I get a couple moves from him, but the guy that I learned my patience from is Emmitt Smith.
Right.
I never seen nobody as patient as Emmitt. He wasn't the fastest guy.
4'6" guy.
He wasn't the guy that just gonna shake a guy out of their boots, but he was patient, set up his blocks, and hit the hole, like, even though he had a great line.
Right. Yeah.
But he was so patient. He knew how to use the line.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was so patient. So, like, I watched him a lot, like, in college, because the crazy thing, back when we was coming out at Little League, the coaches always taught us to get the ball and hit the hole as fast as you can.
Yeah, that's all you hear.
And they was coaching us wrong.
There you go.
Right.
Know what I'm saying? So, like, that's...
Well, in a sense, they was, but they weren't, because they realized, okay, especially if they realized you had speed and dynamic player like you were, they felt like, okay, those players on the defensive side of the ball, they're not going to be able to react. So they tell you, hit that thing, hit that thing fast as you can, so they don't have any time to react. By the time they do react, you're already gone through that.
Yeah, you already gone, but that's help you at that level.
That's what I said. That's why I said
high school, college is slow to, fast through.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? Yes. So, like, you just know how it is, man.
Yeah.
Just got to film study, man, and just work on your
At the end
craft.
of the day, there's different levels to it.
It's different levels to it.
You're
right. It's different levels to it, man. Back then, they was teaching us to lead with our head. So you already know back then. So
A lot has changed right throughout
a
the
lot has
last
changed,
probably 15 years of,
I
football.
wish I played in this era, man.
You ain't getting touched. And you
Played
ain't got
20
practice.
years, man.
That's
You ain't
crazy.
getting touched. They ain't doing
Y'all gotta
tour
practice,
days. When I
no
first
tour
came in,
days.
my first 3 years, like, we had
Was it
tour
Fisher?
days. Yeah, Fisher.
Yeah.
Tour days,
Grinder.
pads, both of the days, like,
Yeah.
Banging.
all that.
Yeah.
So,
And as
yeah,
a
it was
running
crazy.
back, that's a lot of, on your
It's a
body.
lot of banging.
For sure.
Yeah, it's a
So
lot of
again, let's
banging.
go back to, like, say, your high school career, junior high. Like, what was some of those first examples of, I'm special, I'm different? Of course, you probably already knew you were fast. You're probably racing everybody in the neighborhood at 8 years old.
Because I want to know, because I didn't experience that. Honestly, like I said, coming out of high school, I wasn't like your 4 or 5 star athlete. I wasn't being highly recruited. But you had something that a lot of people don't have. That's
electric.
That's a premium.
But that's the crazy thing. If you think about this, though, when you really break down my story, it's wild. I had one D1 offer.
It was only one.
I don't
Let's
even
go
know.
to that.
I'm the same. I don't know if I had.
Let's lean into that.
And I was a 2-star. Know
So
what I'm saying?
why do you think that? Is it because just your size at the moment?
Nah, I just think you could say my size, but I can't say that I'm the fastest guy in Florida. Know what I'm saying?
He didn't say the fastest guy like in his school.
Right. He said in the whole state, and this is Florida.
He said I'm the fastest guy in Florida.
I just think, sometimes God playing, know what I'm saying?
True.
And then, like, some guys get overlooked or whatever like that, but I think that ended up making me work as hard as I worked. That made me have a chip on my shoulder, know what I'm saying? Because, like, I wasn't always the fastest at first. Like, I still remember, like, I finally, like, I went to high school when I got in 9th grade, and my brother, he was in 12th grade, and he was beating me my whole life. And then at track practice that year, we raced each other. I beat him. He never beat me since after that. And then after that, I just started getting faster and faster, and then, like, nobody was beating me. Know what I'm saying? So then I ended up playing my freshman that year, and then at the end, you know how they move you up. They moved me up to varsity. Yeah. My brother was playing everywhere over the field. When they moved me up, I was a starting running back, and they let him focus on defense. And then from after then, I've been playing varsity since I'm freshman. And I'm the fastest guy in Florida, and I'm like,
wow.
You need to stop this, dog. You
you
really stunting on us right now.
I wasn't in the top 5,000 in Ohio.
He keeps telling me I'm the fastest guy in Florida. He's like, I'm not the fastest guy in the state. I mean, in the high school
or whatever.
No, he's like, I'm the fastest guy in Florida.
So, like, I couldn't even tell you. I don't even understand how I was overlooked. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
Because again, we try to, it's the journey that means, something to you. When you get to the end, I made it. But what were some of those frustrations at the time? Because again, you're the fastest guy. You want to be recruited heavily. You're not, right? It's like, okay, I think I'm small, but there's still other guys getting recruited and getting 4 or 5 stars. Like, what was some of that frustration at that time?
It was hard. It was hard because I know, like, I always wanted to play D1. I wanted to go to a big school. Like, back then, that's when Miami was hot and stuff. I wanted to go to Miami. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know
FSU was, in Florida. All them, like, they was up here back then. So I'm like, man, then I'm just looking, like, I'm looking the paper coming out, and on the ESPN, they got all these other guys, like, they going to these big all-star games and they getting recruited. I'm like, dang, like what they ain't doing? You know what I'm saying? And then, like, you know, I can blame some of it, like, on my grades. Like, I think I had, like, going into my senior year, like, I had, like, a 2.2 grade point average, you know what I'm saying? Okay. So, like, I can blame it on that, too.
Right, okay.
But, like, at the end of the day, like, I ended up going to night school, summer school, and stuff like that, and put it up, get my grades up, so, you know what I'm saying? So I qualified to go to college or whatever. But I just think my story and the things that I had to go through, like, I think that helped me out.
Yes.
Because when you go back, and I've looked at it a couple times, I can't even lie to you.
Yeah.
You go back and look at the 2004 top 100 guys. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Man, it's a lot of those guys that ain't make it to the league.
They never make it. That's why I be telling, like, don't panic about where you at is where you going.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And like, a lot of those guys that went to the smaller schools, like, we made a name for ourselves in the league.
Exactly.
Like, they went to the big colleges, but they ain't make it out. You know what I'm saying? So.
And the thing is, like you said, I understand you're saying now you realize, okay, what it could have been and what you used to, and I think you just said it. You realize what you didn't do, what you should have been doing is probably applying yourself more academically.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because physically, you know, athletically, that took care of itself.
Exactly.
So now you're reflecting, you're going to be like, okay, well, why didn't I make it? Now, and I'm glad you said that, like, yo, it was my academic. But then you took it upon yourself to apply yourself. Yeah. You went to school, you did tutoring, got your grades up. But then I think, had you done that in the beginning,
exactly,
then you would have never been in that
situation. I wouldn't have been in that situation.
But you might have not worked as hard later on, though.
Exactly.
But as you said prior to that, you said everybody has a different path and that path to where they are. Yes. Like I said, it's all in God's plans. Like I said, maybe, like I said, you looked at you being in the backyard of the Miamis, the FSU, like, you probably wanted to go there. That probably, like, that was your dream, but it didn't work out that way. But at the end of the day, you just talked about that top 100 athletes in Florida.
Right.
More than probably half of them didn't make it.
Right.
98 of them did.
Right.
Right.
So how did you end up at Eastern Carolina? Division I AA. I went to Division I AA school. Mm-hmm. How did you get to Eastern Carolina?
I ended up getting there because, going through the whole recruiting process, that school stuck around, right? I had Eastern Kentucky, right? Okay. And I'm like, dang, okay. East Carolina is the only D1A school that I got a scholarship from. And I seen, like, probably like 3-4 years prior, they played Miami. Mm-hmm. So I started looking at it like, okay, I ain't finna go to no big school, so I need to pick a school that I know at least gonna play these
teams.
Play the school.
Know what I'm saying? Yes. That's gonna play these schools.
So
like,
you get some exposure.
So some exposure. We played West Virginia every year, and that's when Pat Man was there and all that. Know what I'm saying? Pat White, all those guys. So I looked at their schedule, and every year they played at least 2 to 3 big teams. Know what I'm saying? Big schools. I'm like, man, damn. And this is probably one of the only schools that's saying, okay, we're going to let you come in and we're going to give you the opportunity to play running back. Okay. They never said, like, so most of the schools, like, they was like, even the D1 AA school, like, you going to play receiver or you going to play cornerback. East Carolina, like, we're going to give you the opportunity to play.
That's all you need to
That's all I need. If you're going to give me the opportunity to play, I guarantee you I'm going to play. Yeah. So when I left out of high school, I was 150.
Wow. Yeah.
150?
150.
Ooh, boy, that's paperweight.
150. I 150. I put on 50 pounds at East Carolina.
Wow.
Yep.
When I left East Carolina, I was 200 pounds.
That's it. That's
yeah.
where you want to be.
Yeah, so I went in, I knew I had, and the crazy thing about it, this is so wild. When I went in, I was 150. By the time the first game of the season, I probably was like 165. But I went in thinking, okay, I'm finna go in, I'm finna red shirt, get in the weight room, gain some weight, this and that. Man, I ended up going in and starting.
They was like, hey, you too good. You can't red
shirt. Yeah, I went in, they seen that speed.
Gotta have you. I need you on the field.
Hey, and that's
I gotta have you. Like,
I'm drawing up stuff right now for you. You ain't red shirt.
That's that gift that, like I said, a lot of us don't have. You know what I mean? That's a luxury. That's a premium. You know what I mean? And you think about, at pretty much the skill positions, that's what's eye-popping. That's what sticks out. It's speed, change of direction, things like that. And that's what you had.
Yeah, and it's crazy because now just like from being around like kids in the high school and like recruiting and stuff, because I always said to myself, I got 2 twin boys, and they love football. Yeah. And I was like, I never let them be overlooked because, like, you know, a lot of it, like, if your parents not involved, like, they don't have the resources. All the resources, so I can help them out.
Right.
But a lot of kids these days, like, going into high school and going into college, their mindset is like, okay, going into high school, I got to be on varsity.
Right. You don't have to.
Going to college, I gotta go. I gotta start my first year.
Right.
Like back then, we went to college like, okay, I'm okay with red shirt.
Yeah. It was a grind.
It's a grind.
And again, coaches assessed us based on what they saw in our abilities.
Right.
So again, yeah, we all have that confidence in ourselves. Like, yeah, we should be starting this and that and the other. But again, we have to, like I said, we have to succumb to their evaluation. If they say red shirt, if they feel like you got to wait another year or so, that's what you did.
Yeah, kids they just got to trust the process, man.
But the thing, the transfer portal is messing everything up. Because again, just think if all the kids had the thought process of I should be starting this, and the transfer portal was available then. Y'all been bouncing all over the place.
Bouncing around.
We didn't have that luxury to okay, if I'm not starting, you know what I mean, not here, I can go elsewhere.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah, but I still think that 90% of those kids, they think that it's easier somewhere else, and it's not going to be easier anywhere. So their character, to me, when you transfer, you're not going to be able to make it because you don't have the right character. It's somebody saying, I'm going to stick through what I'm going through right now, and then, of course, the cream is going to rise to the top.
Right, and it's the saying that, you know, you're thinking the grass is greener on the other side, and then you get over there on the other side of the fence.
This coach is cursing you out just like the other coach.
They think it's grass, it's turf.
It ain't even real over here.
It ain't real at all.
Real over here.
You know what I mean? So let's say, okay, you get to the Titans. You know, what is that experience like? Because now, like I said, I'm following your journey here. I'm following it. You know what I mean? You didn't 2-star coming out of high school. Didn't go to the Miami Hurricanes. You didn't go to the Seminoles. You know, you take that path. You go to ECU. You get drafted.
Yeah.
You've arrived.
Yes.
They think that, but not really. Still not
that's
at
what
that
I
point.
want to hear.
So you go from, okay, now I'm in college, right? I start my freshman year. I start all my years. Then my last year, I think I had 3,000 all-purpose yards my last year, right?
Man.
I don't think I had 3,000 yards.
I had
my college and high school together.
Yeah, so I had 3,000 all-purpose yards. Then I ran a 4.24.
Coming out.
Yeah, I went first round, but I was the 5th running back taken, right?
Do you remember who was drafted? Who was it?
McFadden went first.
Darren McFadden for the Raiders.
Darren McFadden. Yeah, he went to OU. He went to Arkansas.
That's right. I'm thinking
Jonathan Stewart went second.
Okay.
Ooh, he went to
Carolina.
Panthers.
Yeah.
Mendenhall went third.
To the Steelers.
Felix Jones went to Dallas.
Cowboy. He
went to Arkansas.
And I think you was in Dallas at that time, and I wanted to go to Dallas so bad. That was my team. Like, so when we went on our visit, they had me, Felix Jones, McFadden. We was all there at the same time.
Man, what was Jerry Jones thinking, man?
He took Felix over.
He took Felix over me, man.
He's still making the same mistakes.
Took Felix over me.
Jerry's still making the same mistakes.
Jerry wild, man. So that was another chip on my shoulder. I'm like, man, I done did all this. I went 4.24. And
still
4 running backs still go before me? Like, what?
That's crazy.
Know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn. So I got a chip on my shoulder, know what I'm saying? Because y'all still doing me the same way how y'all done did me coming from high school.
Yeah.
They're going to college, now coming from college, going to the league. Yeah, I went first round, but shit, ain't no 4 running backs better than me, man. Know what I'm saying?
You're the best running back.
Yeah, I'm the best running back, and I done did everything. I put it on film. I done came here, I done ran the 40. I done did all this. Know what I'm saying? So the chip was on my shoulder, and I just came, and it was crazy because when I got there, I'm like, I walk in the building, I'm still Googling how you got to think. I'm coming in there, you see Vince Young.
Yeah, Vince.
See Lindell White, that was one of the famous games, the USC in Texas.
USC,
like you seeing these guys like Keith Bullock, like these guys that I grew up watching.
Bully,
like Bully, like Algie Crump, like you seeing all these guys, like you like, damn. Know what I'm saying? So I'm like,
on that, right?
Yeah, so I'm like, man, listen, man. I gotta be a superstar in this league, man. I got to tighten up. Y'all ain't finna keep leaving me behind. Right. You know what I'm saying? So come in, do my thing, right? I think I had like 1,300 rushing yards that year.
For a rookie year.
Yeah, man.
That's
rookie
impressive.
of the year, they gave my rookie of the year to goddamn Matt Ryan.
That's right.
Matt Ryan.
Falcons,
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn,
Still
another chip on the
Another
shoulder.
chip on your shoulder,
Wow.
okay.
Another chip on the shoulder. So second year come out,
That's when
I had 2,500 all-purpose yards, 2,000 yards. Guess what? They gave my MVP to Peyton.
Of course, for Peyton, man, that's when he was going down in year. He's about to be done.
Man.
Gave me MVP to Peyton.
Another chip on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just kept hustling, kept grinding, you know what I'm saying? Just doing my thing, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But
like,
now, being older, you understand you needed all those chips on your shoulder.
I needed that. I needed that. Because if I go back and go to Miami,
yeah.
You
might have been satisfied.
I never know where. I might have been
got
satisfied
content.
and got content. And I'm from Florida. It's probably a lot of distractions right there in Miami. It's a 2.5, 3 hour drive.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, everything happened how it's supposed to happen.
It's supposed to.
And shoot, it is what it is.
That's
you know
awesome. You
what
had a
I'm
great career, you know, headed to the Hall, you know what I'm saying? So again, all those, because I'm trying to get people to understand where you're at right now, it's not the end of the journey.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it's good or bad. It's just not the end. You keep fighting through it, and the good stuff is on the other side of it.
Yeah,
You know
and this is my first year eligible coming up now. So that's why I want to ask you, what's your thoughts on it? Like, I know your thoughts on it, but it's like when people ask me about it, they ask me about the Hall of Fame and stuff, and I'm like, hell yeah, like I want to be in the Hall of Fame, but like, I don't know what it takes. I don't know the criteria.
It's hard because there's so many facets of it.
Many variables, a lot of variables.
Exactly. You know, you understand, you know, the criteria, you understand the motto, the mission statements of the Hall of Fame, and obviously, like I said, it should be, you know, based on what you did on the field.
Right,
and
right.
I look at you, and I feel like I'm talking to Edgerrin James. Because I'm pretty sure, right? That would probably be the best person to ask of. I'm sure because he's going through that process. He's finally in. You know what I mean? And I like his theme of how he's going about it. Like he's going from gold teeth to gold jacket.
Right.
You know what I mean? And obviously being there in Florida.
Yeah.
Different paths, but I'm sure there's some similarities in the way that you guys grew up. And again, like I said, based on, like I said, statistically, I don't know what they are. And obviously with the class that you're going to be eligible for and who's in that class, like I said, it's so crazy and tricky as to what they're looking for. Because when it came to me, like, you know, based on my statistics, I should have been a first ballot.
You know
what I mean? But it seems like every year, the 2 years that I was eligible and I didn't get in, they kept moving the goalposts of, okay, well, it was this, it was that. And those aren't things that you should be factoring into.
I'm gonna be a little bit less politically correct, right?
Well, I'm not
personally. I think that if you didn't ruffle feathers in the media, if you didn't ruffle feathers on your team, if you weren't an a-hole to somebody, right? They're not gonna be able to hold that against you. You look at everybody who's not in or didn't get in their first or second or third time. They were rough around the edges, or they weren't polished enough when they were playing. This is what I feel like what the Shield is looking like. The NFL looks at you like that. Asante Samuel should be in the Hall of Fame.
Bro, if you look at his stats
but there's a bunch of
he
these.
He did some of the same things.
Yes, but I'm saying there's a bunch of these examples.
Crazy.
So again, I think it's like we have to understand the Hall of Fame is where we, you know, the biggest achievement. But at the same time, it's like it's not all about numbers. And it's not fair that it's not all about numbers, but I think that's just the way it's gonna be always.
Yeah. We should know this. Where are you on the list?
All-time rushing list?
Right.
35?
Reiterate what you were just saying, and just to piggyback on that, if you didn't ruffle any feathers, if you had the stats, then you should be in.
You should be in.
So that's music to his ears.
Yeah.
But that's ideally that's not gonna be.
You just don't know about
right.
And I think it goes with stats, and it goes with, like, I feel like if you change the game.
Yes.
I feel like I changed the game before I did what I did. You wasn't being no 200, 205 pound every down back.
Right, it wasn't happening.
Like, who did that?
You had to be Edrin, you had to be Hugh.
Right.
You had to be 225.
225, 230.
The Eddie Georges of the world.
That's what you had to do. And like before me,
you
before
like
I
a
did
DB.
you know what I'm saying? Like, now after I did that, now you got guys, they'll draft a 200-pound running back in the top 10.
Today's game.
Top 15. Before then, never. If you went 225, ain't nothing.
You weren't doing that.
You ain't doing that.
Today's game, you coming out with the spacing of today's NFL, what numbers are you putting up?
Oh, man, crazy.
Because all 3-4 receiver sets, you got more space.
Because
you still run with 8 in the box.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, now these days, you can rush for 1,000 yards, and as a running back, you rush for 1,000 yards and have 200-300 receiving yards, and they're gonna rank you the top 2-3 backs in the league.
Yeah.
Back then, when we was doing it, you gotta have 15, 16, 1,700. That's what we was putting up every year.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying? And then even it was such a long time went past before I rushed for 2,000 yards. I did it. Then AP came and did it. Then Henry came and did it. But know what I'm saying? And like now they just think 2,000 yards is just something that people do and not understand. Like, that shit hard.
It's hard.
Look at Derrick Henry this year. He ain't started off the same way he's been starting, but it's hard when everybody is focusing in on you. You know what I'm
the
saying?
Box. Safety's down there.
It's hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the crazy thing, I rushed for 2,000 yards, right? I came back the next year, rushed for 1,400 yards. They say I fell off.
At 1,400.
Which is crazy. and to think, like, dude, the league is 100 years old? You're one of 8.
Right.
To rush for 2,000.
How they ain't Hall of Fame in itself, though?
Y'all want that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying, y'all want my cleats and my jersey from the year to put it at the Hall of Fame.
Put it in the Hall of Fame, but you don't want me?
Right. You need to put the body with the shoes and the jersey. So
I'm taking it back.
And that's my point. I'm speaking on your behalf. Again, it speaks for itself. Again, like I said, not to keep throwing myself in there, but that's how it was when I was up. You know what I mean? I was second, 3, 3rd, 4th, all behind the greatest.
Right.
Like, you think about the 100 years of this game.
Right.
You one of 8 to only do that.
Yeah. Right.
And at the time, you probably, when you did it, probably what?
1 of 6.
6. You're the 6th one to do it.
6 to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's, and you saying it like barely over 200 pounds. Going in between the tackles when the game was physical, really physical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's Hall of Fame worthy in itself. So again, you got my nod, like I said, but I already know who's doing the voting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I already know who's doing it. You saw what I had to go through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the only one ever to have 2,500 total yards in a season ever in history.
These are things, like I said, that should be taken into consideration.
They are. They should just be a bigger percentage of the final answer.
Right.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
again, like I said, I'm hoping you get in, but like I said, you have to be ready, prepare yourself for the disappointment. You know what I mean? Because I did that at the end of the day.
Oh, so once y'all in, y'all don't have no say-so or nothing?
We don't get no vote.
There's only 2 former players that have a vote. Yeah.
Okay.
That's Dan Fouts and I can't think of his name.
Lyman?
No, he's a receiver.
Gosh,
I can't think.
Art Monk?
No.
Lofton.
James Lofton.
James Lofton.
I'm sorry. Yeah, James Lofton and Dan Fouts. Those are the only 2 former players that are on that committee. I think it's like over 48 or 46.
Oh, wow.